Buzz Live.
Buzz, buzz, babies.
Hey, buzz, buzz, babies! Happy new comic book day! I'm excited. Are you excited? I'm excited. Wednesdays are great days. It's great days to support indie comics, support your local comic book shop, and then you can tune in to my show and spend even more money on Kickstarter or in other ways, or in this comic shop as well. We've got Kickstarter books and direct market books to talk about tonight. Pretty cool stuff. Some pretty cool creators. Very talented, cool projects. How many times am I going to say cool? If you're drinking tonight, everybody take a drink when I say cool. We'll see who makes it out alive. Hopefully everybody. It was a joke. Don't, pace yourself. This isn't a drinking show. It's a hot dog show. Eat a hot dog every time I see cool. Yeah, there you go. There you go. What do they say? Use 10 seconds of your life every time you eat a hot dog? Whatever, man. You live forever. You got to go all beef, though. They don't. I'm pretty sure that 10-second or that 10-minute hot dog death threat was, I don't think that counts if you eat an all beef dog. I'm not a scientist or a doctor. I am just a podcaster in America. So my opinion matters. Anyways, how's everybody doing? I hope everybody's great. We got some people already saying hey in the chat. Kenneth, always good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Lily, hello. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Like I said, we got some cool people to talk to tonight, but first we got to cover our bases and talk about some cool stuff going on. Shall we do that? All right. Tonight's show is always sponsored by superfan Michael Gecko Adams, who has a new series, Hero from Keenspot, to keep up with what Mike's got going on. And trust me, you want to keep up with what he's got going on. Get over to geckoadams.com and tell your shops to put Hero on your pull list. Guess what? If for some reason your shops can't get it, you go to the Keenspot shop, order yourself a copy. It's great for all ages. Wonderful art, wonderful laughs. And you, like I said, you can snag it. There's links in the show notes for you to do so. And guess what? Every book we talk about tonight, there's going to be links in the show notes for you to check out. Click, support comics, be a real hero. We make it easy for you here. We really do. I'd also like to talk about another campaign I'm working on. Will Allred's crossover division is returning. Its 8th issue is coming to Kickstarter soon. Pre-launch page is live. You are seeing that correctly, that middle cover right there. Will is coming in hot with a Tula Lote variant that you can only get on Kickstarter. Crossover Division 8 coming soon. Your favorite literary protagonists are crossing over with Sherlock Holmes. This ain't going to be a regular romp on Baker Street. No. Sign up for that pre-launch page. We got some preview art and stuff coming soon. Keep your eyes out. And finally, the Shaolin Nun campaign has come and gone, but we are still taking late pledges. And if we hit 7K, we're going to give you something tasty. By the way, hotshot writer Doug Wagner, writing that hot book Narcos flying off the shelves, says it's got all the soul of old school kung fu with a modern bite and a whole lot of heart. If the writer of one of the hottest books in comics told me to buy it, I'd buy it. That's just, them's the rules. Them's the rules, right? All right. So tonight we got a few guests. We got a few projects to talk about. And, I say we just start hitting it. First we got to say hi to more people. More people comes. Diego, what's up? Saying hi. Appreciate you. Part-Time Comics, John Westhoff in the house. You guys should check out Part-Time Comics, all the cool books they got going on. All right. Let's see who we bringing out. Who are we bringing out first here? All right. First up, folks. I gotta get all my stuff queued. All right. He's written The Adventures of Punk and Rock, Death Saves, and he's got a new original graphic novel dropping from our friends at Source Point Press. It's called Big Guns Stupid Rednecks. Let's give it up for Austin Allen Hamblin! Whoa! What's up, hot dog in hand, coming in hot. How you doing, bud?
I am great. I had 2 more hot dogs, but I ate them during the intro.
It happens. Cheers! I've never
Cheers.
got to cheers someone with a dog. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, I love them.
Right on, baby.
All right. So how's your night? How's your life as a comic book writer? How's things?
It's going good. It is starting to get nice out again. So I love that. hate freaking winter. So just having sun, being able to go on walks and outside without being miserably cold. Now I'm just like become a sweat sack. But things are good. Things are trending in the right direction, and I'm just having a good time. Yeah.
It's probably hard to wear the bare chested overalls in the frigid weather.
Yes, yeah, People actually, when I was filming like some videos with these, I stopped at the gas station, and they told me I had to leave because I wasn't wearing clothes, and I said to the attendant, I go, "Are tank tops allowed in here?" "Yeah, it's a tank top," and then I left.
That is oh man, what a weird
weird hill to die on. I'm like, I'm literally leaving already, but all right.
And when I was in grade school, I bleached my hair because all the cool kids were doing it, and the girls would dye their hair and stuff all the time. Like they'd come with like blonde hair or dye it darker. Anyway, I bleached my hair, and Jesus doesn't bleach his hair. He never did. Not in the no one bleached their hair in the Old Testament, and Jesus definitely never bleached his hair in the New Testament. The Catholic school I attended was very, very against it. I got suspended for bleaching my hair, and so my parents like begged. They were like, "If we dye it back, and can he come back?" And they were like, "Yeah." And so they dyed my, and it was like, dude, surfer bleach, like chrome blonde, right? So we try and dye it's like turns purple. So it turns this gray purple chrome weird color. So we like buzzed it all. Anyway, they let me back in with this weird chrome brown purple hair. Anyways, that's basically the same thing as getting persecuted for overalls. It's just now I'm bald. Now all my hair is on my face, and I don't dye that. That seems bleaching that seems wrong.
I also went to Catholic school, so I understand.
Nice, yeah. See, we get it. That's why we're weird.
Yeah. Definitely a contributing factor for sure.
All right, we got a couple more people to bring out. But first, we got a Tommy Mad Prophet saying Austin totally understood the assignment. I what a weird hillbilly hill to die on. Yeah, it's Tommy. Thanks for tuning in. By the way, Aggressive Positivity Tuesday nights on the EXP. We are streaming live on the EXP network. By the way, getting broadcasted in comic shops all across America. We're basically famous now. It's pretty cool. Let's bring out some more people to get them famous. All right, we got let's see our next guest. Doodly. We're bringing it up. All right, next, he's worked on a plethora of titles over at IDW and in the direct market. He's got decades of experience in the publishing game. He's got a crazy kaiju-sized awesome campaign on Kickstarter right now called Super Kaiju Fuji Yango Flames. Let's bring out Mr. David Hitchcock! Yes, sir!
Amazing.
How's it going, David?
Thanks for having me. That was an amazing intro. I couldn't be more happy to be here now. I wasn't sure what I was getting into, Blake, but man, I'm loving this so far.
No one knows. The hot dog thing is kind of new, so I'm still learning how to eat on the air and talk to guests.
Austin's just sitting there showing me up. I'm like, oh, I'm the experienced guy here, and then Austin shows up with a hot dog. I'm like, Jesus, I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no clue. Austin's already schooling me.
That's how you got to where like it's maybe this is hurting me. We don't know yet. It's too soon to tell.
That's true. We have to see the end game.
It's almost certainly true, Austin. In more ways than one.
David, it's so nice to meet you. Our mutual friend, and an old coworker of mine, Keith Davidson, who I used to spell his name wrong all the time, and he still loves me. He's such a good guy. When he reached out and said, hey, Blake, he didn't even have to ask. I was just instantly like, yes. But then I really did, David. I told him yes before he ever sent me a link to your campaign and stuff. But when I looked at your campaign, I was like, this is cool, dude. Like, so bright and fun and crazy. Not your first romp on Kickstarter. Very, very excited to dive into this campaign and also just talk about, there's more and more there's kaiju comics, right? Like Godzilla is in everything now. There's a crossover everywhere, or a city that's been destroyed by Godzilla. Kaiju are not hiding in the bushes, right? They're out in the open.
Toho is not shy about licensing out Godzilla to whoever has a little bit of cash in hand. It's certainly a thing.
But you've kind of figured out a way to make kaiju different, like on the page, in the narrative.
Yeah, man. I threw hot chicks on it. That's the way to do it. Boobs and monsters.
It's a great way to do it. And we talked about it last week. I'm bring it up. I'm sure I'll bring it up again. It's a lot of us like boobs and monsters, and a lot of people on Kickstarter like boobs and monsters, and a lot of people on Kickstarter are being told that, like, we don't want your boobs and monsters here. And it's like, whoa, what's going on?
I submit to you, Blake, that more people like boobs and monsters than don't like boobs and monsters.
That is true. If there were a graph, one would be higher.
Like, comic books are a very thin slice of, the people who are entertained in this country, but boobs and monsters are a very large slice of the things that entertain people in this country. So I'm just hoping to land in the middle somewhere, in terms of like how many people want to pick up one of my projects.
Based on, like I said, we'll bring up the campaign page shortly, but campaign is looking good. You're sitting at you're fully funded, coming up on 15K, coming up on 300 backers. Got over 2 weeks left to go. I hope your campaign does okay, David. I know it's a little feeling. No, I'm just joking. You're sitting, it looks like you're doing well, and boobs and monsters. You found the algorithm we all wanted.
It's a little bit more than that, but that's the easy low hanging fruit for the intro. Yeah, Super Kaiju's been this is our third Super Kaiju graphic novella that we're releasing. The first two both did really well. It looks like the third one's going to trend better than is trending already better than the first two. Super Kaiju is not our most popular title, but it's the most popular in my heart because it's the closest and nearest and dearest to me in terms of. I know I'm joking about boobs and monsters, but it is more me than the other projects that we do. So it is precious. So I'm really gratified to see all the people coming out to support us for this one. It's very nice.
Very cool. By Tommy, our new comic guru says, Bad Idea's got a new book, Megalith, with a kaiju thing. I'm always a big fan of kaiju comics. Raul, thank you for tuning in. All right, we got one more guest to bring out, and then then we're really going to get into hot dog talk. I swear. I mean, comics. We're here to talk comics. I swear. All right. Last up but never least, we've got the writer behind your new favorite fantasy crime comic. That's a little What We Do in the Shadows mixed with The Wire, which is about the best combination I've ever heard in my life. Here to tell us all about SWAT, Eldritch Blue, it's Justin Cook!
Hi.
Let's go!
The energy's contagious.
Tonight's panel, folks. Everybody is here. Everybody's got amazing indie comics to talk about. Justin, I guess that's all your first time on my show. I have a lot of returning guests because I'm so wonderful. People just beg me to come back, and because my schedule's always open. No, I always throw myself under the bus. I need to quit doing that.
It's all right.
This isn't therapy hour, though. This is an indie comic hour. But Justin, I'm so excited to have you on. How are things? How's your campaign? How you feeling as a indie comic book creator as 2026 crumbles all around us?
Well, I feel like it's been a weird time to try to get going on comics between everybody Diamond going bankrupt and tariffs, and it feels like almost every hurdle gets thrown in your way. But we're here because we want to do it, right? So I think the Kickstarter is going pretty well. We're about halfway done. We got several weeks to go. Most of the big shows are still coming up, so I think we'll get there. The comic's already done, so if you buy it, you'll get your comic pretty much immediately.
Very cool. Dude, that's a good way to do it. I feel like it's just it makes things like easier in the end game. There's a lot of people don't realize all just the tons of rolling snowballs of fun that fulfillment is, right? And the weird hiccups that can happen. Files can get mixed up or corrupted or lost or who knows, right? So so much can happen if you have most of the art and a lot of production, or if you got a good jump start on production when that starts rolling around, it always kind of alleviates the stress.
It's a lot less stressful than having to worry that your artist is going to have a meltdown and then everyone's going to blame you that it's a year late, right? So having it passed away.
Okay. As long. I mean, I don't know.
I'm not immortal. I gotta get this
right
going
now,
faster than that.
Yeah. No. Everybody should want to fulfill before a year. One of a big campaign I worked on sort of recently fell behind, and there I had some job switch up stuff happen too, right? But like there was a worry even before I left, right? And they were like, we're behind, and meanwhile, like I'm watching like campaigns get fulfilled, like people posting pictures of them like on Instagram and stuff, and it's like, I had these people on my show like a year and a half ago. Like, what happened here? Anyway, so and again, I know I'm talking smack. I don't mean to. Things can happen, and at least the books, the books show up. Delays can happen. We've seen people take the money and run too, right? So I'll take a late book over that, but we don't have to worry about that with Justin. He's not going to take your money and run. The book's already. It's a safe bet. Let's just go right into it, Justin, because you have one of the I dig fantasy. I'm always excited when new magical worlds pop up because, like a lot of people, I was disenfranchised by a magical world that I grew up with that was created by a monster. But so I'm always. I guess it goes around, right? But I'm always like encouraging people to like branch out in fantasy and find new creators and new worlds to dive into. You have something very, very modern and fun here. So while I'm pulling up your page, why don't you give us a pitch of SWAT?
Well, it's basically what if Harry Potter was just a loser who survived school shooting. And he's all messed up from that. 20 years later, he's a cop in St. Louis, grinding out the days to his pension. He's cynical. He's tired. I'm kind of channeling the millennial sense of just being like, oh my God, can we have a real country again at some point? That kind of feeling. And so they're representative of all of us, but they get put in a situation where they're going to have to fire somebody. So instead of doing that, they call in a tip on this vampire they know that's got some bodies in his backyard, literally, thereby creating a red ball where no one's getting fired, everyone's getting overtime. And so the first arc is them chasing down this vampire that they called the tip in on in order to save their job. So they're kind of aware of the fact that they're not the greatest people on earth. They're verging onto anti-hero a little bit at the start, but a lot of the comics ultimately about them trying to find a way back into, being able to look themselves in the mirror. You know what I mean? So
I'm a sucker for a good redemption arc. They're always so. I mean, what's great about redemption arcs is it's like they never really get played out because like none of us are perfect, and we all got skeletons in our closet. We all got something that like we'd low key like to be redeemed over, maybe like that we're scared of failing later, but. It's just it never gets old, right? It's always refreshing.
Yeah, and I mean, heroes that have flaws in them are a lot more interesting than the guys that have none.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Superman, but that's the critique of Superman is that he's just so damn good all the time, right?
Right.
It's kind of hard to keep it going forever and ever.
There's got to be a balance between like Superman and like a breast milk, like terrifying monster addict, like Homelander, right? Like some weird balance between them that you can like kind of play with. Cause it's Mark Waid's Incorruptible or no, Irredeemable. Sorry. Like I was always like a really, really big fan of that. And it always like kind of made sense as to like why, cause he had issues, right? He was a superhero with issues and an alien, and he could hear everybody. And so it was like, anytime he didn't do anything perfectly, or like he would hear everybody's like whispers. And when they're like, oh, he's not as good as this hero, or he's not as good as that. And he finally broke and lost it. Right. And so it's, people are so fragile. And if people had powers, they'd be fragile with powers. So yeah, it's an interesting game. I love when creators play, right? I love broken characters. And by the way, I also love the slogan, 7 cops, 6 donuts, no coincidence. I love it. Like it's just, I dig it. And we're about to get to the art. I'm gonna tell me about your artists, where you found them, because I really dig your style.
Rachel Distler's the artist, and I don't remember exactly how I found her. I was in the process of just sort of going everywhere, Facebook, Twitter, comic book collabs on Reddit, and just looking at people. And when I saw her style, she's done the Nightcrawlers, which came out with Simon and Schuster. But when I saw her style, I'm like, this is the perfect style. It's the right mix of serious and comic for the exact mood that I'm going for. And she really, really nailed it, I think, you know. We were mostly done with issue 2 at this point, and the style, she settled in stylistically in 2. So it's even more interesting going forward. But she really captured what I was going for, you know, the right mix of serious and funny at the same time.
Yeah, there's a lot of heart. There's a lot of like heart and charm in this art, and darkness and weirdness too. I dig it.
Yeah, it's very autobiographical.
Oh,
It's
really?
as autobiographical as a comic can be, while being entirely fictional. But you know, that's kind of how I feel. The world that they live in is one where, I mean, magic's just weird. You know, there's not a lot of hard and fast rules to it. The only rule is that it costs something. You know, so they don't run around. They don't heat their tea with magic. They use cell phones. They take cars. They carry a gun because there's various counters to magic. They're very afraid, right? Like, even though they're incredibly powerful, they're also glass cannons, where if they shoot second, they're done. And so that fear kind of drives a lot of their anti-heroics, you know, where they're doing things that are more about protection than maybe, you know, what Superman would do.
Okay.
They don't take people to Arkham Asylum, because then they just break out, right? So
yeah,
you know, when they bag somebody, they bag them, and that's the end of it. So but it plays a lot with like the dark humor of first responders. You know, they tend to process trauma with dark humor, and that's where a lot of the humor in SWAT's coming from, is a place of them using humor to deal with how messed up the situation is. So like the horror's there, the horror's real, the comedy's there too, and they're not, hopefully not playing off of each other or watering each other down.
Do you have experience? You said some of this was kind of nonfiction, but also semi-autobiographical. Do you have experience with that life, that field?
I've been I'm a lawyer, so I've been
Okay.
I've represented people who have done things like mostly drug stuff, but like early on, my very first case, I'm reading through the FBI discovery, which is boxes and boxes of stuff, right? And there's this story in the middle of it about how my client kidnapped this girl who was a real girl, and then cut her in half and buried the parts all over here. Now, it was bullshit, right? Turned out it was complete. Meth heads go in, they just spin stories for the cops, and then it shows up in a police report later, right? But I did not realize that at the time, because I was like fresh out of law school, and so I'm like freaking out, you know, and stuff like that. You know, I've dealt with psychopaths, I've dealt with criminals, I've had criminals that are a lot nicer people than some of my, you know, civilian clients, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel that.
You know, so
I've had some difficult clients myself. That's a joke. Love all of you. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, you know, I've seen some things. I've been to plenty of prisons, and most of the time I'm not an inmate, but I've been to plenty of them. I took a lot of that, you know, a lot of lawyering kind of went into it as well.
That is really cool, because that is not a side of lawyering and law that I would think entered into the narrative aspect, right? Like I would think more like courtroom drama, stuff like that, like some of the stuff we see in Daredevil that like people complain about, that I actually love. I love when like the drama goes into the courtroom in Daredevil. But you know, that's where I would think like the clever lawyer storytelling would take over. But no, like you're using like the real life client example, and like the gritty part of being a lawyer that like we don't really think about. Like some of those people you're dealing with are not the best people. That's why they need a lawyer, right? So that you're going to hear some stories.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen some things, you know. I mean, I had one guy, he was actually pretty cool, but he shot a guy through the cheeks. It went through, didn't take any teeth or anything. 45 right through the cheeks. Didn't kill the guy. Luckiest guy. They were both extremely lucky, to say the least, because he didn't go to jail for the rest of his life. But the conversations where you're dealing with people that are just completely delusional, like they're off their nut, and you're representing them. And sometimes you're taking the blame for stuff they did, because what are you going to do? Be like, yeah, they totally perjured themselves or whatever. It's a lot of that went into it. It's a really based in Missouri too. I'm from Missouri. I lived in Missouri basically my entire life.
Where at?
And so it's a lot of it is based off of real locations in Missouri. It's based on how people in Missouri talk. And I hope that adds sort of a unique flavor to the dialogue and things like that. But
what part of Missouri are you from?
Joplin.
Oh, okay.
Basically
I'm in Kansas City.
Webb City. Yeah, we talked about we were going to meet up at Comic-Con last year.
That's right. Oh my, yeah. Well, I have the memory of a bird. I swear to God.
Well, you got a lot going on, so that's fine. I'm in Columbia.
Goldfish with a microphone. That is exactly what I am.
Hey, you talk to tons of people, so you got sick or something, I think. But anyway,
my shoulder. I had old man shoulder. I was like right, just 39, got old man shoulder, and
you get to that age and you just wake up and you've torn your meniscus.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But I remember coming home that Friday that it was a Planet Comic-Con 2 year, not this year, but the year before, and I came home and I had trouble getting my backpack off. I had to like kind of like wiggle because I couldn't like move my shoulder right, and it was like I cried a little bit like getting my backpack off, and I was like no, this can't happen the week of anyway. But yeah, cool. That is cool. I love getting some Midwest twang and just some like. I love getting some. There's some good.
There's some y'alls later on in the scripts.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So there's I wrote a sequel called Witches Foundation, which is based about it's a haunted location in Lebanon where supposedly someone buried a bunch of witches in the basement of this building in the shape of a pentagram. If you look into it, it's complete nonsense, but I took it and ran with it. Like, screw reality. So it's a real location, and I took it. I did a 3-issue arc with that. The other sequel, The M-Files, which stars Mimi, who's in this one, is about her as a Jehovah's Witness in like 1993 in Mount Vernon, Missouri, which is just this town of 2,000 people. They were very proud to have a Taco Bell. Right. I'm not kidding. I'm from there. Anyway, so in the 80s, the Jehovah's Witnesses had this urban legend. Am I talking too much? I feel like anyway,
you're good.
I'll finish this up. Anyway, so they had an urban legend about how Smurf dolls would come alive if you took them into the church, and then they start cussing and attacking people and trying to escape and stuff. So I had her do her puberty and magic. Her first magic act was making one of those Smurf dolls come alive during a convention and then terrorize all the Jehovah's Witnesses in the tri-state area. And then the Smurf gets out, finds a Smurfette doll. They have 5 million children overnight, and it kind of turns into a whole thing. So, I'm just going for it. Like, I'm just running.
This is quite the connected universe you got. I love this because before we move on, I got in trouble at the Precious Moments Chapel when my buddy got married many
I lived
years
right
ago.
next to there, yeah.
So like it was at night, and we didn't know it was a dry wedding. Like my buddy's brother like drove us down there, and so we drank all the way down there because we were groomsmen, and we were partying. And we get there, and there's no bar, there's nothing. We are housed, man, and we're just like we're stumbling out of the car, and everybody's mad at us. And so I'm walking around with an old video camera, like at night, with like a flashlight, and we're like, "Do you think these statues are gonna come to life, man? Like, I don't know, this is freaky as hell." Like, and it really was like wandering around with a flashlight, all these weird little kid statues, and just floored. Anyways, it reminded me
the
of
Precious Moment story is there's a lot of drama with that. I think the wife or the husband stole all the designs from the wife or something like that.
I didn't know.
I think there's litigation about that. Yeah,
I always thought it was weird that he like built a castle for his kid in the middle of an island, because I felt like if your parent put you in the middle of an island there's a reason for that. Like it's like everybody was like, that's so cool. A parent did that for his kid. I was like, is it though? Like,
no,
live on this island, you little weirdo. Swim for dinner. Anyway, so yeah, I think SWAT sounds really cool. I think it's a real fresh idea. And as scrolling through the art, the vibe, I'll going with it. And if it's like I said, if it's got some Midwest soul, get out there, folks, to support these awesome indies. We'll come back, Justin, but we got to go. We got to go around the circle. I guess let's go to our next Kickstarter campaign because I've already brought it up, and that's David the Fun Maker, the Kaiju Raker. I added that part. That didn't really make sense. I tried, David. I failed you. I apologize. One day I'll be a better podcast host. The Fuji Tengu Flame. Like I said earlier, coming up on 15K, closer to 300 backers than not. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Also, I really like your Kickstarter page. I love how you use graphic and lettering and bubbles to do this, and not just a traditional. Actually, I shouldn't say this because my clients are probably going to start wanting this, and I don't want to do this. I don't want to make this
a little extra work.
I'm not a letterer, David. You're already making me look bad. Keith, what are you doing, man? Just kidding. But no, I really do. I love the page. It's different. I'm sure your letterer appreciated doing some extra pages too. But I love this art, man. It's so clean. It's so fun.
All that art is by the interior artist Rolando Mayada. He's amazing. I've been working with that guy for years, and so that right there is the in papers for the. So our books aren't comic books; they're graphic novellas. They're hardcover with a spine. There's a dust jacket on them, spot varnish.
Wow!
All the fancy bells and whistles. So it's a little more of a prestige package. So those are that image right there is the in papers for the inside, front, and first page of the book. So
very nice, very quality. That is one of my favorite things about cool hardcovers. I went from Wednesday Warrior to like deluxe hardcover omnibus chaser. Like I kind of like transformed as a collector, and now I'm out of room for everything, so it doesn't matter. But I love the Kickstarter campaigns because y'all go all out. You really do. Like if you get a hardcover on Kickstarter, it's getting so many bells and whistles. They're just so beautiful. But before we get too far into the weeds, David, hit us. You said this is the third book. Hit us with a quick pitch about what makes your kaiju so crazy.
So Super Kaiju Rock and Roller Derby Fun Time Go is the name of the book, and this is the third book in the series, Fuji Tengu Flames. It's a story of harmony, lyra, melody, cadence, and viola. 5 girls who are sort of down on their luck, and they're in an all-girl garage band turned roller derby divas. And so that's kind of where we see them. They're just these 20-somethings sort of semi-losers, but with lots and lots of potential. And everything seems to be going one way or another. And then the giant kaiju monsters show up. Things go all sideways from there.
I love this. I love that they're in a band. That's so. And so I was also like, I used to be a bouncer, and there were some amazing, like at the bar, like on trivia nights, the local derby girls would come in, and they always were so fun and like amazing, treated our staff amazing, and like always tipped well. They were always like great to come in. But I that whole like culture is wild, and it's so interesting. And it's a very different world. And how do you know a lot about that? Or are you a fan? Like how'd you incorporate?
I'm a big fan. I've been a big fan and am a big fan of like roller derby.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of music.
Okay.
But a lot of it's just more about relationships and the girls interacting with one another and sort of just trying to figure out how to survive, when you're in your late 20s, and how the hell do you make it, especially, in this day and age. So it's a lot about that. And then the struggles are literally, monster sized. So, the girls, they come on these kaiju, the kaiju come on them, they manage to survive the experience, and somebody videotapes them, while they're playing this song that they've made with kaiju, like a giant kaiju monster looming over them, and it sort of makes them internet famous. They get their 15 minutes of fame.
Okay.
And then we sort of go from there.
And it looks like you've still got all for new backers coming on. By the way, that link's in the description if you all want to check this out. But for new readers, that you can get all three books.
Yeah, all 3 books are available on the campaign through our site. We keep everything in print, so there's no worries about that. You can start and you can jump in on book 3 if you want to sample something. You get the whole story. It's a graphic novella, so I try to tell a complete beginning, middle, and end to the story, so you can kind of jump in anywhere you want.
Okay.
And the idea is hopefully you like it enough to go back and get the rest. Yeah, that's the book. That's the project. We've got some great covers by Chuma Hill, who's covering Absolute Wonder Woman and Absolute Batman right now. We got a cool cover. Well, every issue has got a cover by Neto Diaz, who's the interior artist for Uncanny X-Men.
Wow.
Bunch of other really great guys. That's the Neto Diaz one right there.
Also, this shirt is phenomenal. That is so
yeah,
good.
I like that one.
That is so good.
my marketing director came up with that, and I was like, "That's brilliant. Print it."
Keep them on staff. That was good.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. And we have all kinds of you're getting to the bells and whistles stuff. Well, our stretch goals, we try to go a little extra on the stretch goals. So instead of just doing a trading card, we put metal foil on the trading card to make it fancy. We limit the printing on things. Every book, physical copy of the book comes with a certificate of authenticity, a cool sort of foil stamp that can't really be replicated, and I sign them all. We got
nice.
Try to do everything sort of deluxe. So instead of like the tiny little bookmarks that some campaigns give you, we give you these magazine-sized bookmarks with rounded edges and a silk tassel, and it's got a silk touch feel.
You are speaking my language.
Go extra on everything.
I am a bookmark slut. I will cherish a good bookmark. I will treat a good bookmark like a sticker, because I can't use stickers because I'm like, what if it falls off and I never have it again? But I like a good bookmark. I'll put away and put in a sacred, safe space and just be like, it's there one day when I need it. But I cherish them.
Our books are also oversized. I don't know if people can see it. So there's this is one of our other books that we do. This is a Sugar Bomb, which is a superhero comic book that we make. But you can see they're magazines. The books are magazine sized. They're not
cool.
They're not comic book size. Just a better way to show off the art and stuff. This is book 2. This is a cover by Ludo Lullaby, who just got nominated for an Eisner for his Ghost Pepper series.
That is amazing. So you guys aren't messing around over there. You got some big, awesome, glorious books.
I've been doing this for almost 20 years, Blake.
Yeah, you've been. Let's talk about that. Quite the career.
Yeah,
decades almost in direct market publishing, and now you're crowdfunding. How did that switch happen?
I owned my own company for a while, Ape Entertainment back in the day. If you remember things like Strawberry Shortcake or Kung Fu Panda or Shrek, all the DreamWorks animation projects. We did Richie Rich. We did a thing called Pocket God, which was wildly popular, but only in the digital space. That's why a lot of people don't know it. But anyway, did that for a while, sold that business, and went to work for IDW Publishing. I was their editor-in-chief, and then I was their associate publisher there. I was there for about 7 or 8 years. And then when the pandemic hit, I just sort of decided I think I was done with comics for a little bit. I was feeling a little burned out. Moved on, did some other publishing stuff outside of comic books for several years, and now I'm just dipping my toe back in it. Decided I wanted to work with my friends again, and so. But I don't, I've made literally thousands and thousands of comic books, and they're all sort of like the saddle stitched, 20 pages of story thing. And I've done that for, a long, long, long time. So I just don't want to do that anymore. I want to do really cool, high end, collectible books with incredible art where the artists don't have to churn out 20 pages in 4 weeks, and there's licensors involved who have to approve every single panel of every single page at every single step. I just wanted to get away from that version of things, which don't get me wrong, there's a fun and creative environment to be in, and it's very challenging, and I love flexing those muscles, but I just wanted to flex some different muscles where I didn't have that. I want to do something different. So that's kind of why I went to Kickstarter and why I'm doing like the more high end products, because I've done the other stuff. So I wanted to try something new. Nice. And it's what gives me my juice, what gets me excited. So
gotta fund yourself.
It's all about it's literally about keeping myself entertained, Blake.
I love that, because it's so many people, it's the other way around, right? Like they start crowdfunding, or like the indie road, do some zines, do some stuff, anthology work, but it's like I got to be in the direct market. I want to be in the big two. I want to do this.
Yeah, the direct market. You don't need to be in direct market in 2026. It's just not a thing. It's not a thing that you need to worry about. You just get on. There's a million ways to promote yourself. There's a million ways for you to find your audience. So I think direct market is just not. I mean, it's an option, of course. It's a viable option for some, but there's a lot of competition in that arena. With the bifurcation of the distribution system, I think over the course of the next couple of years, you're going to see some really cool stuff where more people potentially can come into the space. We'll see what the gatekeepers look like. But right now, you just don't need it. Just get out there and do your own thing, and that's really. That's really my mindset. That's really what I want to do. I just want to. The beautiful thing about Kickstarter is that you are talking directly to the people that are buying your books, right? Like if you put your books in a comic book store, there's literally 5 different businesses that are between you and the in person that's reading that book, right? Because it's the publisher, and then it's the distributor, and then it's the comic book shop, and then it's the fan. So, but on Kickstarter, like if you drop a message on Kickstarter in the comment section, the dude who created the book is going to see the message and respond to you, right? If he's doing his job right. And if you want to see something a certain way as a fan, and the creator says cool, or vice versa, right? If there's something really cool I want to make, and the fans are like, heck yeah, I want that, make that, then we can do that together, right? And you just don't have that. You don't have that sort of connection, that one-to-one connection in the direct market. Again, beautiful system, works great, kept the comic book industry moving forward, where a lot of other industries like music and books, kind of collapsed in a lot of ways and are only just now coming back. But I just love the Kickstarter system as a distribution model. I love it.
It's totally, it is a different world. I've got to work a little bit in like my old job at Prana. Like I got to do some direct market stuff, helping promote and work within that system. And now I do a ton of, I build like Kickstarter pages and do a lot of Kickstarter client work. And it's very much, it's funny when I first started doing press, I started clout chasing for a hot second. I got to talk to like Brian Bendis, and I got to talk to some big names, and it was like getting to talk to my heroes. Right. And it was crazy. And I got like high from it, and I chased it. And then, it like people were like Kickstarter, the smaller name people were hitting me up, and I was like, I never was like, leave me alone. But I was just, I was just like, I was trying to, get the big names for a while. And there was a time, I don't want to say this because I know it makes me sound like a prick, but there was a time where I was like, I'm bigger than Kickstarter, like my show's big. And like, I really did think like that. And now it's funny because like, my whole life is Kickstarter now. Like my bills are paid because of Kickstarter. I am who I am because of Kickstarter. Like my whole platform and like who I am basically is because of Kickstarter. And for a hot minute, I tried to think that I was like above it. And who is above it now, right? Like there's $1 million campaigns, and there's $1 million publishers on this platform, right? There's big stuff. There's your first publication can happen, or Sanderson can launch a new novel and shut the whole platform down in a weekend, right? Like it's a phenomenal monster that you never really know what it's going to do from like day to day, week to week, and it's kind of stressful but kind of fun and kind of awesome, I before we move into our final project, I had a question, and I because I know Austin's got a trade paperback coming too. And there was you mentioned, David, that like you like the longer form, it's working better for for your campaigns, what you guys are selling right now. Justin, I'm not sure what you think about this, and it's with the expansive world you're building, you're going to have to think about how to collect it eventually, right? But there was a time where I was really hoping that I didn't want the single issues to phase out, but as like press, as a reviewer, as a podcaster who covers stuff, it's so much easier to talk about a graphic novel than a single issue. It's so much easier not to accidentally spoil the one thing they bought this $4 deal. Like it's so much harder to talk about 20 pages and not and be fair to everybody than to talk about like 150 to 200. You just have more to cover. And for a while, I was like, man, I was hoping like the OGN would be a bigger force, right? And like Brubaker and Phillips, they were like, "This is what we're doing now," and a couple people kind of started playing with it. That's Source Point Press's deal now. Is like they only want to do collections. They don't want to do the one shots and single issues and stuff. What are your guys' thoughts about that in the market in general, or the crowdfunding market? Like obviously, David, you're a fan of it. Austin, you're getting ready to you're marketing a book right now, like as like creators and obviously fans of comics. Like, what do you think about the trade paperback as opposed to the single issue? Do you think like
I mean, I don't think it has to be an either or solution. I think they can both I think they can both exist, side by side. I think they should. Of the two, graphic novels are clearly eating the lunch of the serialized format, right? Like Dogman runs rings and rings and rings around the Dogman just by itself has made more money in the last 12 months than the entire comic book industry, as a whole. So that's, the original graphic novel has proven that it is a viable form of entertainment that people really enjoy, right? But that doesn't mean the comic books should go away or go by the side. I think there's tons of people. I love comic books. I love how comic books have moved into a format where you get to pick a different. I know it's nightmare for retailers, but I love having the option of picking my favorite cover of whatever issue of Absolute Batman is out right now. It's like, oh, I want the Dragotta cover this month, right? I love that. That's a fun way for me to engage with the hobby, and I really love comic books for the reading experience and for the art. But I also appreciate the collector aspect of it, and you don't really get that as much with the graphic novel side, right? So I don't think it has to be one solution or the other, and I don't think that there's any reason for them to not be able to coexist. And I'm telling stories that fit better for this 48-page hardcover graphic novel that I'm doing. But does that mean that I'm not interested in trying comic books? No, of course not. I've got one right here. I did Sugar Bomb. It's a comic book, featuring a superhero. I went all in on that exact format and stylings. So that's my thought on it.
Nice. I definitely I don't want them to be. Because I like graphic novels more, but it would kind of ruin everything if they did quit making fun. Never mind. That was a weird. I thought I was cooking with something, but I did. That was cold. That was a cold hot dog take, folks, and I'm sorry you had to sit through that.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I would. The economics of it are that it costs, if you're doing 6 issues, that's like $20,000. That you got to either make at the Kickstarter or have out of pocket, and that's just kind of a lot for
it's a lot of money to make a
kicking along.
So
that's not true though, Justin. You just print to order. Your cost is just
the artists don't pay to print. They want their money.
You're talking about but if you got okay, I won't argue. Sorry.
Well, I mean. It's $20,000. Like, if you raise that in the Kickstarter, great. But I don't know. It doesn't seem super as a guy that's trying to break in or get fans. I have 3 fans. I'm not getting $20,000 out of the.
You're
gate
saying
for
it takes
novel.
to pay art, letter, everything, not necessarily printing. You're estimating about 5K an issue, for production.
If the artists are upset they're only getting a 150 page.
Yeah.
Right. So you're looking at $200 a page times 22 times 6. So as much as it would be either you're taking a giant swing and hoping your artists deliver in a timely manner, which is like, people are not going to wait for them to do 6 issues, I don't think, or they're going to be unhappy by the time that's done, or you've got to put that out and have it done before you start.
But
so it's just kind of a
Catadon says just be your own artist so you don't have to pay him.
Yeah, it's probably a little late for me to develop that. Yeah, I can barely do.
It's never too late. It's never too late, Justin. Yeah. It's never too late.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
I got.
You're doing something way harder. If you're a lawyer, you're doing something way harder already. Just pick up a piece of paper and pencil. You got this.
Well, I got a lot of things I need to do too. Is the thing, but
your artist. It would be really hard for you to go that route though, because your artist is great. I really.
Yeah, it would take me way more.
Hard to go back to hot dogs after you've had steak, man.
Right? Yeah, just pay for it.
Not true. I'll suck down a filet mignon. I got a sous vide. I love steak, but you can't just eat it.
Hebrew National or Nathan's?
Maker's Mark. I'm a Sam's Club dog. Really, I usually buy Costco, but Sam's Club delivers for free. Costco doesn't. So if I need my dogs delivered, and Sam's Club delivered hot dogs during a tornado warning, the sirens were going off, and they dropped off hot dogs on my porch in Kansas City, Missouri. I was like, I will eat Sam's Club hot dogs forever. I was like, you've proven yourself to me. I will be loyal. I will be your loyal hot dog eater. Anyway, Austin, we're segueing into your project too. But I mentioned, you have a trade paperback too, and you're teamed up with SourcePoint, who is, they're pushing this, like everything they're doing is a collection, and they're trying to kind of get into the book market in ways. This is this is your first direct market experience, right? What are your thoughts on the, both maybe a little bit of Kickstarter versus direct market, but you've done both now, right? You've done the chapters and the collection, and what do you think?
I think it's it's just like everything. There's advantages and disadvantages to both. I think the big thing is if you're not a already established creator, you want to be around as much as you can, right? So being able to release 6 issues and then a trade, that can get a little more buzz going, right? Or you can't, because if I had worked on Spider-Man, I could probably disappear for a year, and then people will care if I return. If I don't have things like that and then disappear and try and return, kind of killing your own momentum. And it's just I know a lot of guys that do image books that the trade only exists because they do the singles, right? And not that they're making killer off of the singles, but that is enough to to get them there. And as a reader, I mostly I prefer collections. I'm a reader before a collector, but I will usually I'll buy a lot of issue 1s, and if I like it, when the trade comes out, I'll buy it. But if it's an indie book, specifically, especially image or creator owned book, I will follow that month to month because I want to make sure that I see it exist. Because there'd be nothing more, worse than I like something and then they stop making it after the first arc, issue number 5, because they're well, we can't maintain this. We're beating our brains out for absolutely, no money, which is sometimes the case.
You just described comics as a career, bud.
I know. I try
There's money, obviously. It's just no,
it is.
You really got to work for it.
It's a hard way to make an easy living, is what I've heard.
Oh, I like that. That's hard, good.
You could
That's
do other
good.
things that are much easier to. Yeah. But I just try to be everywhere. Because
you're good at that.
There's some people that only read comics from Kickstarter. There's some people that aren't on social media at all. There's some people that they go to the comic shop. You're missing out on something if you don't. That's why I try to do podcasts. I go to conventions. I'm try to be everywhere because I need that. And I just love this. There's not, I always would tell people I would do this if nobody was reading my stuff. And for a long time when I started out, nobody was, but I'm only here because I just kept doing it because I love it. There's no not doing it.
I just do it because Tommy watches my show. That's just Tommy's always here. It's just, by the way, this was he was going back to you guys talking about how the direct market was. You don't need the direct market to publish books right now, which I agree. You don't. And Tommy, you're a retailer. Retailers aren't useless. It's not what we're trying to say. So what I'm trying to say. That's not what I'm trying to say. Tommy's useless. No, I'm just kidding. I love you,
I'm not saying that either. I think the direct market. I go to the comic book store every Wednesday.
Yeah, but it's like you don't have to. Where that used to be the goal, right? Like I even remember as a kid, we were going to draw our own X-Men comic and leave it in 7-Eleven so that like someone accidentally bought it and be like, "Wow, who did this? Like they should be making X-Men." This was the golden idea. We thought it out. It's like we drew. It was it was going to happen, folks. But it's that doesn't have to be the dream anymore. Like even Austin it was published and had successful campaigns before he even moved into the direct market. And we keep skating around this, Austin. So I'm just gonna need you to tell us what this crazy fucking book is about, man. I gotta let the people know about Big Guns Stupid Rednecks and your office attire.
Aliens are abducting rednecks and forcing them into laser gun gladiatorial combat for Intergalactic Cable's newest hit show, Big Guns Stupid Rednecks. And I was telling Blake before we get on here, like these overalls that I'm wearing, this is not a cosplay. I live in Iowa. I borrowed these from my dad. So it's write what you know. And I grew up in rural Iowa. I'm the son of a third generation farmer. Everybody on both sides of my family in some way works a agriculture related job. So I was like, you know what if Mojo the X-Men villain and we just did it with rednecks? Let's go for it.
I love the three projects we've talked about tonight. Like they do not seem connected at all, but it also is like perfectly connected because like this is the like when everyone tells you like, oh, you want to make a book, make the comic book that you want to read, make the comic book that you want to see on the shelves. These three creators are making the exact weird, zany, insane comic books that they wanted to see on the shelves, and they're finding success in it. Their campaigns are funding, people are reading the books. Like that's what more can you ask for as an indie creator than a successful campaign and people buying and reading your book? Like that's the goal, and they're seeing it happen, and so I love that. And I would, if there's anybody out there listening that's like, wow, I got a weird idea and I don't know if I should run with it. Like, there was a time where I thought that like I was boring and no one would want to listen to me if I talked into a microphone. And like, I literally made a career from it. Like not as a podcaster, but like I got into the comic book industry because of the show and networked and stuff because of the show. And there was a time where I almost didn't do it. Right. So like, if you got a weird idea and it's silly and you think it's too silly, it's not. Like, just like listen to these three guys and just try it, do it. Right. Like, Austin, did you ever have like a moment where you were like, oh, this is too weird. This is, or were you always just like, I don't care. This is me and I'm putting it on the page.
Yeah. So let's do it. Cause I grew up in rural Iowa and in a world of jacked up pickups and country music, I was listening to Slipknot and reading comic books, so like I have always been an outsider, and that's not to say like I didn't have friends or anything like that. I absolutely did, but I feel like I had a very unique lens compared to the other people around me. And so that was, the comics were my escape, and that's why I like them. That was my thing where it's like, oh, somebody else is into these things that I am. And it was like reading the original Fantastic Four books, reading those reprinted, where I was just like, I love this. And like, clearly other people love this. Otherwise this wouldn't be a thing, but just nobody around me loves this. And then it was like I love all kinds of comics, and there's totally a place for like stories that are going to make you smarter or, change the world. But sometimes you just need to shut your brain off and just have some fun. And that's what this is. 10 minutes in a comic or 20 minutes, whatever, where you're not worried about your problems or political climates or money. And you're just like, oh man, like this is fun. Like that's what I'm going for. Because so many people did that for me when I was younger. I just want to be able to do that for other people.
That's cool, dude. I love that feeling, by the way.
I take slight umbrage in you saying that our ideas are weird, Blake. Like,
right.
let's do a little thought experiment real quick.
Okay.
What would be probably appeal to the mass audiences more? A story about hot girls fighting giant kaiju monsters, or a story about a dude wearing his underwear on his outside of his clothes and a cape punching a mad scientist? Which is more appealing to a large audience? I'm genuinely asking you that question. Like part of me removing the comic book of it all.
Okay.
Which story is probably more appealing?
Yeah, if you remove the comic book of it all, the beautiful women, the beautiful skating,
right,
women,
and that's why manga is eating North American comic books lunch, because manga is doing this every single day. They're taking real life experiences, running them through a little twister, to put them into some fantasy modes in some way, shape, or form, and then you're getting wildly popular graphic novels that are when you go to the bookstore, you see an entire living room floor dedicated to manga, and there's one shelf of North American superhero graphic novels dedicated in that same store. So I take a look. I know you didn't mean it that way, but like, which one is actually the weird idea? The ones that are ideas, or the idea that people want to read about some dude wearing his underwear on the outside?
Fair enough. Yeah, no, that is 100% true. And I mean, look at like the whole, like, I love Chainsaw Man, and the whole first arc of Chainsaw Man was Denji wanting to grab a tit.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that really, there's a panel where he admits it. He's just like, his first case, they're like, after the battle or whatever, he's like, he's stealing adult magazines from the crime scene. He's just like, but it's, again, like you said, David, it's they take this normative life thing, which is like, we all had a magazine that we shouldn't have, right? That was like hidden somewhere, maybe, and that before you have your first relationship, when you first get, when you're going through puberty, when you're getting these urges and stuff, and it's just like, it sucks when you're like, I wish this would happen, and it's not, and then later you get mad at the new God of War game. That's I don't know if anybody, sorry, that's I'm on the internet way too much, but that's basically what happened. I
mean, I'm sitting here listening to the story of Justin's story, right? And like, it's all super relatable. It's like crime and courtroom, hijinks. It's stuff that you see on TV like every night. Like, yeah, CSI is a thing that's been going for 30 years. Like, and then you hear Austin's story, which is on the surface, that's wild, but it's sci-fi it's a sci-fi genre mashup, and it's really kind of brilliant, right? Because, and I submit that more people like sci-fi than like superheroes, but that might be questionable. Actually, maybe I should take that back, because Marvel's made a few hit movies, but sci-fi is still a big story.
Hail Mary is the best movie I've seen in a long time. Like, the other day I was telling someone, I was like, there's a lot of good TV and series right now, but I haven't seen a movie that like drop kicked me in the guts, right? And like made me stop and think about life, and really just like, just kind of take my breath away. And Hail Mary kind of did that. And I was like, wow, I haven't seen a movie like that. And I loved that it was sci-fi. I loved that it happened in space. I loved that the buddy cop element was a dude in his space rock. Like, come on. I mean, I loved it. Anyway, I agree. Sci-fi is pretty powerful, and screw superheroes. I'm with you, David. Absolute Batman can kick rocks. Get out of here.
Blake, you're the ultimate live streamer, man. You're like, everything's black and white, everything's yes or no. There are no shades of gray. You either love it or you hate it.
It's funny. I made a joke the other day that I was like, man, I'm surprised that I'm not a certain way, like, politically. It is because like I will just take stuff and run with it. Like I'm like your ideal, like like, oh, I believe, like, I was like, I'll drink your Kool-Aid. Like, I just, let's do it. Like, that sounds great. You know, I'm just like a little, I'm like, hit a little Energizer Bunny. You know, I hear like a good pop phrase, and I'm just like, boom, 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 never stop. Anyway, so yeah, I do think and have a brain and know how to. Anyways, we don't need to talk about that. But no, I will take that I'm the ultimate live streamer to the grave. I will print that out, hang that on the refrigerator. Appreciate that. But so Austin, we totally got sidetracked talking about your book. I apologize, but I guess how are you feeling like coming from Kickstarter now, and you know you're kind of you're doing the same social media kind of, you're good at like social media promos, and like you make funny trendy videos and stuff, and you were doing that when you were on Kickstarter. You're doing that now like with the direct market FOC campaign. You know, for indie creators out there listening on both sides of the field, right? Crowdfunding and direct market. Like, how are you feeling promoting, and have you changed your tactics or done anything weird like to like compete with other direct market entities, or are you just kind of doing what you feel good doing?
No, there's a lot of things that stay the same, but then there definitely are things that are different. Like I've lined up signings for when the book comes out, and like I am going to the signings dressed up as a redneck. I'm making promo videos for the shops of me as a redneck, like talking that I'm doing the signing. I think I told this to someone who's like, it doesn't matter if you have the greatest, you know, crime story or whatever genre. It doesn't matter if you have the greatest song. If nobody knows about it, nobody can buy it. So I can't control how much my book sells, right? There's too many variables. Someone who could love it could be homeless right now, right? There's too many variables. But what I can control is how much work that I put in on promoting the thing. So tonight, this is my 13th podcast interview for Big Guns Stupid Rednecks, and I have 4 more lined up for this month before FOC. And that I can control. And I can't control if anybody's going to listen to them. But the more messages and bottles that I throw out to the ocean, the more of a chance I have that they're going to reach somebody.
Oh yeah.
That's and like there are so few. It's very hard to get some juice going, as I call it, like, you know, try to get like a rumble going about you. And it can be hard to get an opportunity, and that's true in anything. So it's like, if I have an opportunity, I'm going to make sure that I don't have any regrets, that like I did everything I could to make the most of it. Like if this flops, you know, say I get the order come, you know, and we sold 0, I will at least know that I put the boots on the ground. I went out and did it. You know, instead of being like, oh, did I do all that I, you know, could have done? So I think that's the big thing. And yeah,
I think that's cool. And I agree with Tommy. I think you're doing what all creators should do. And I agree. So I've had this issue recently with some people that I've tried to like help or coach or client or whatever you want to call them, whatever the weird shit is I do for a living. But you know, a lot of things that I do for clients, because a lot of, you know, editing video sucks. Editing audio sucks. I get it. Like I'm not great at it. I had to learn how to do it though, right? And so a lot of times, like if I'm working with people, I'll be like, hey, stare at your cell phone, record a video in vertical, talk about why you want to make this book, right? That's usually like, you're making this book because you love it. You love the story. You got to be passionate about it, right? If you record yourself about something you're passionate about, it may start slow, but you're going to get into that vibe, and you're going to be like, yeah, and I did it because of this. And, you know, like, and I'll find that moment. I'll find that good like moment to like hit after the intro and make like a nice little video. It is, some people won't do it. Some people, you know, it's some people don't want to do interviews, but they'll usually do interviews, but it's getting people to record themselves. And it's not just 1 or 2 people. Like it's a lot of people do not like doing it. And I need to make more shorts. I don't do it. I go live every week though, so I'm not like scared of video, right? But anyway, long story short, it's just there's a hesitation to record yourself, to be present. And I know people get busy, and you know, maybe you have deadlines, and you know, a lot of people have day jobs on top of the campaign, on top of the stuff. But I really do think it's necessary. And social media is dirty and gross and lame, but it's like, it's the dirty, gross, and lame you got to wake up next to, and it's just kind of deal with it. And you've kind of figured that out. What I guess I'm asking, I'll pose this to all of you. What do you all say to people, like that, like those people that are like, I'm sorry, I have to talk about my Kickstarter campaign this month. Like they'll post on Facebook, like I'm going to post about it. Like, no, don't apologize. Be out there, be loud, scream at me about kaiju and baddies on roller skates, David. Like it's just like, and it's, I don't know. Some of these creators are like, I don't want to yell, I don't want to bother people, but it's like no, you got to grab, you got to do the grab and shake, but not really, but like you got to get it out there. What do you guys say to creators that are hesitant, to kind of be on social media, be out there, put themselves out there. And if I'm throwing you all under the bus, I apologize. Maybe you agree, but
I'm happy to answer that. I don't know if I feel like I've been hogging it though. Maybe Justin should take a crack at that one first.
Okay, Justin, you want to?
Well, I get it, man. I mean, you don't end up writing comics because you were winning popularity contests in high school mostly.
Yeah.
Right. I like talking about it. I love doing these interviews and stuff like that. This is a lot of fun to hang out. And that comes naturally to me. I would probably be a little weird if you were just like tape yourself talking about SWAT. It's not any different really, but I guess I could see that a little bit. But I mean, to some degree, while I'm hardly a social media wizard, you've got to just deal with the reality on the ground, which is that you have to do this stuff.
I know. By next year, we're all going to be dancing for Kickstarter pledges. I'm pretty sure we're going to be doing TikTok dances
next year,
flashing our covers.
I've already been doing that.
Austin's already half naked, man. He's
right. I'm this far away.
Unknown 869. If cheesecake isn't available as an add-on, then it will be tomorrow. That's an error. It should be available. And Mad Prophet Comics, I adore you, dude. I love Dungeon Crawler Billy Bob. If I was drinking a Coke when I read that, it would have went through my nose. Here's my thing about this. I'm super I'm very I hate being in front of the camera and I hate talking about myself. I'm normally self-deprecating to a fault. I've been working with my therapist on that for years now. But the thing that I've found that gets me through all of that actually quite easily is that two things. One, I know that what I'm making is very, very good. And I've been doing this for a really long time, so I can say that with a certain level of confidence. So that's the big thing, really. At the end of the day, all of this other stuff can be called noise in some ways, because at the end of the day, if you make something really good, overall, in general, not always, but in general, the cream does rise to the top, right? And so if you spend your time, energy, and effort honing your craft and making yourself better as a writer or artist or maker of comic books, that will ultimately be the thing that pays off more than almost anything else you can try. So now that's number one. Like I've really spent a lot of time making sure that I know how to make a really great book, and I've got amazing people with me that I know are really, really, really good at their craft, and we're putting this thing out there. But the second part of it, and the harder part the part that helped me overcome my own like sort of self-doubt, was that I'm making a party and everybody is invited. My Kickstarters are a party. We're doing live events. We're giving stuff away. We're trying to hit stretch goals so I can make really cool stuff for you guys. And I'm just out there hitting all your comments. I've got a private Facebook group. We're celebrating every day, whatever we've done in that day. Internally in my own little like work group, every time we make another $100 or get another pledge, we're just out there celebrating. And we're just trying to have a good time. Like I'm taking pictures of me, when we hit the $6,000 mark and we funded, I'm taking pictures of me drinking a glass of red wine because that I'm truly celebrating. Like, so that has made it all just really easy, because it's fun. I'm having a good time, and I want you as a person who's potentially joining me on this little ride for the next couple of weeks to have fun with me. So that's the big thing for me. That's the key, is to have a fun time, have a party, and who doesn't want to come to a party, right? And who doesn't want to be part of a party? So that has completely solved that issue for me. And I assure you, it was a big problem for me. But that has taken it away because I like people and I want to engage with people. I just don't know how, right? But if I put it in that, for me, if I put it in the mindset of, oh, I'm just throwing a party, well, I know what that is. I've been to parties before, not too many, but because I am a comic book guy, but I've been to parties before and I know what those look like and I can have one of those and I know how to celebrate and know how to have a good time. So that's what I do. If I'm putting out positive energy and I'm having a good time and I'm not stressing about, oh my God, how much money have we made today? Or, oh no, somebody just canceled their pledge or what are that? I don't think about that stuff. I'm just out here trying to have a good time, talking to people I've never got to meet before, talking about comic books at 7:00 at night. And my wife's not going to get mad at me. Like I won the day, boys. I won the day.
So I love this because we always talk about Kickstarter like an event. We usually compare it to like a convention, right? Like but it's not just a pre-order, it's an event. Like you said earlier, David, you said if the creators are doing their job, if you leave a comment or a message, it gets responded to, right? And it should. But I love how you're not calling it an event. You're straight up calling it a party, and everybody's invited. And I hope everybody listening to this thinks of their Kickstarter campaign as a 30-day party or an 18-day party or whatever it ends up being, because that is beautiful and it is lovely, and you're not going to apologize for having a party, right? You're not going to tell your friends like, hey, I'm having this party this month and I might be kind of annoying about it. I'm sorry. You're not going to do that. You're like, hey, I'm having a party this month. It's going to be a blast and you should all come, right? And that's how you should treat your Kickstarter campaigns. That's how you should promote your Kickstarter campaigns. You are not a burden on someone else's social media, right? You are a gift. Your story is a gift and a distraction and something that they need to make their life better. Like everybody.
Dear Lord, please give me more distractions.
Right? Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, for real.
I love that, David. Yeah, it's a party. Kickstarter's a mother buzzing party, baby. We're here to party. I love it. Guys, I've kept you over an hour. It was this. You're all just too damn easy to talk to. Is a problem, and I talk too much. There's two problems there. I talk too much, and you're all just easy to talk to. But I really I called your projects weird, and I but they're great. They're weird may not have been the adjective. Well, I'm going to think about that for a while, David, though, because it is like what's actually weird in comics and what's normal.
I think weird is a compliment in comics. The weirder, the better.
Well, shit, you got to get weird. You got to take risks. You got to make a 500-pound Batman and sell 18 million copies. Just see what happens. Get weird with it. But no, all of you guys are doing great work on Kickstarter. You've got, Austin, you did good work on Kickstarter. Now you've surpassed Kickstarter. You've graduated. It's so great. It's great to see you, getting ready to drop in shops. As I mentioned before, all the links, the pre-order codes, everything we've talked about tonight, if any of these books sound cool, sound like something you want to check out, it's very, very easy to do so with the links in the show notes. But because I'm such a wonderful, polite, amazing, energetic live streamer, just like this microphone should be gold, but it's not, because that's not in the budget, right? We can barely afford hot dogs. All right. I made $8 on Facebook last month. We're trying, folks. Anyway, but this is the part where I shut up and I'm going to go around and I want each of you, if you got websites, places we can support you, give you money, buy your stuff, buy your books, newsletters, things like that. Like, take your time, spell out the websites. This is your time to shine. I want to go through the room and make sure everybody knows where to find you all. Justin, let's start with you, bud.
JustinCoke.bsky.social. That's where I post mostly about random crap. I'm on Facebook under Justin Coke. There's not too many Justin Cokes. There's a guy that was the head of the Sheep Herders Association in New Zealand. That's true. There was a horse in Vancouver. It's not a common name. So you'll find me on Facebook. My website's weirdshark.art. Weirdshark.art. Based off this tattoo here about an extinct old shark. That's my label. I haven't even updated it. It's a pretty new website, so check that out. It's got some samples for Edge of Darkness and some other stuff.
Awesome. I look weird shark. I like that. I like sharks. Like, does anybody else get excited about Shark Week? It's been a while since I got excited about Shark. Anyway, we're not going to end the show talking about Shark. I'm not going to get sidetracked. Look, I know you guys want me to go off about Shark Week.
Blake, lock in.
We're trying to own it. All right, Austin, you brought me back. You brought me back to Jesus, baby. Oh wow, that got weird. God damn it. Can you tell us where to follow you or whatever, please?
Yes. I am everywhere. TikTok, Instagram, Blue Sky, Facebook. I post on all of them. Instead of giving you a link, you literally search my name on Google, and I'm very easy to find. If you're going to forget my name, that's fair, but you'll probably remember Big Guns Stupid Rednecks, and nothing else comes up besides me if you search that. So I have a newsletter on Substack that I update weekly. I'm also a staff writer at Comic Book Resources, so you may have even read some articles that I've written and not know it, because that's fair. You're there for the news, not because I wrote it. So, but I'm there.
And you've been the articles you've been writing have been great, dude. It's very, very cool to see you there, seeing your name out there, both in as a creator, as comics journalist. It's very cool. I'm super happy for you. And like I said, your content's been great. It makes me jealous every time I see it. I'm just like, oh, I should work harder, and then I don't, and then I feel guilty about it. And then I get on a mic and tell it, and I'm like, you should get out there and make content. And I'm like, I should never listen to my own advice. Anyway, when do we need to pre-order the book by? The end of the month?
Yeah, FOC is the June 30th, and the book releases in comic shops July 22nd.
I don't know if you've heard this before, folks, but pre-ordering comics is really important, and we've talked about it a lot. And even though FOC doesn't make a lot of sense and no one really knows what it means final order cutoff. And what it really means is you need to tell your shops before the end of the month that you would like to order this book. It helps immensely, and it helps your shops too. It helps Austin, it helps your shops, it helps the earth, it helps grass grow, it helps the tide and the moon. It's all connected. It really is. It really is. All right, and last but not least, we got David the Fun Maker. David, okay, let's try this again. We got David the Fun Maker, and he's going to tell us where we can follow him before I can mess it up.
It's super easy. Go to funtimego.com, and everything's there. So funtimego.com. We've got links to the current campaign. We've got all of our other books that we've done. So this is our 6th campaign. So all of our other books are available there, and you can find out stuff like the podcast that I do with another former editor-in-chief, John Barber, Transformer Hall of Fame, John Barber. You can find our podcast there and stuff like that. But funtimego.com is the place to find out about me.
Awesome. What's your podcast about?
The Corner Box. We're in our 3rd season. We go weekly, and it's just dudes talking about it's a couple middle-aged white dudes talking about comics. Shocker.
We need more white people talking about comics, folks.
The only difference is that John and I, we both been working in the industry for so long, so you get some cool stuff. And John's done some amazing stuff. Worked at Marvel and blah blah blah. So.
No, yeah, you guys aren't just cramming hot dogs down your throat. You're dropping knowledge. No, for real. Like when I was Googling you. Before when Keith first sent that email, and your career is like super impressive. Like I feel I've been in the industry like officially for like not quite 5 years yet, and it feels like a longer time. And I don't mean that like offensively, but it's I think about it, and sometimes I'm like, damn, I've done a lot in 5 years, right? And so to imagine 20, 30,
I say this with like no exaggeration. I've said this many times. If you can work professionally in comic books, make a living in comic books, in the comic book industry, if you can make a living in the comic book industry, you can literally go to any job anywhere on this planet and walk in the door, and you will be upper management within about 2 weeks, because the comic book industry is a crucible that is trial by fire, and it is a very tough industry to be in. So 5 years is no joke, Blake, and you should definitely pat yourself on the back, because it's not an easy industry to work in. You have to love it.
Yeah, you do, and that's my biggest fault is how much I love this industry. Because I love it way more than myself, and I get into some pickles because of that. I will drink I will drink a person's Kool-Aid and just go all in and then realize like, oops, maybe shouldn't have done that, right? But I'm still like first job me, where I'm so excited to be here, and I'm part of me still scared, like that old fear, like if I say no, they'll quit asking, right? Had that fear in the industry, had that fear as a podcaster. There was times where I would do like 3 or 4 episodes a week, and I burned myself out doing that. But I was like, I didn't know how to tell people no, and it was just like if I tell people no, they won't ask to be on my show anymore. So yeah, anyway. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's been, I couldn't imagine doing anything else, but I recently left I was working at like comics. I was working on comics and magazines and stuff, and I left and because of some things, and I was really thinking about getting healthcare and getting therapy, and my buddies were going to get me on at their insurance place. And I was working on my corporate resume, and I was like, oh my God, I have team management experience. I have project lead experience. I have like my resume is so stacked, like both creatively and like I can like corporatize it. And anyways, but it is gnarly. Like what this industry expects from people, from creators and the people that work behind the scenes, what you got to do to survive the industry. And it sucks, but it's also really rewarding at times too. And this is a whole other episode, which we shouldn't get into at the 1.5 hour mark, but it's David's fault, not mine this time. But
it's fine. I'm not going to come back on. You could throw me under the bus.
But all right, everybody, it was so great to officially meet all of you and get to talk to you all tonight and to check out your projects. I wish you nothing but the best. All these books are really great books. If you've hung out tonight and you heard them all talk, there's a lot of experience and talent behind each of these projects we talked about tonight, whether it's on Kickstarter or like Austin, drop it in your comic shop in July. Really, really encourage you all to check out these projects. There's links, all the info you can find in the description, and they've all given you a couple different ways to follow them and support them outside of that. Everybody who hung out in the chat tonight, including Tommy, who just keeps leaving. I can't bring
Can you hear me, David?
I can't bring up all your I can hear you, Justin. Okay. Anyways, thank you for everybody for hanging out in the chat.
What's your last name?
Really?
I think everybody can hear you, Justin.
Oh, okay.
You're not doing it private. My last name is Hedgehog.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't feel like I was in history blood type, but all right. Let's see.
My social security number is 4. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, everybody, I really, really appreciate it. We will be back next Wednesday. I'll go ahead and say it. You know who's going to be here next Wednesday? David Mother Buzzard Propose. We're going to rock out, talk about the OZ and all a bunch of cool stuff he's got going on. I haven't talked to him in a while. He's a dad now. He's got all this cool stuff going. So excited to catch. I love that man. I love him, love him, love him. So make sure you come back next week. We always got some cool indie people to talk to. I really, really appreciate the chat. There's a lot of other people you could watch on YouTube and eat hot dogs. You all choose to watch me, and I'll never, ever take it for granted. I promise. Everybody remember, love more, hate less, read comics, be a hero, support indie comics. We'll be back next week.